what can we do? I know I've said a couple of things. I just want to go so that we can take the questions one after the other. But next steps, what do we want to do? The first thing is you need to set your goal for the year. I know we've talked about the planning. I think that's the first thing to do. You need to sit back towards the end of the year, which is where we are now. It's a wonderful time to reflect. That self-awareness bit, you need to sit down and then come up with smart goals for next year. So I want a promotion. What do I need to do? Right? I need to understand what skills are needed for the next role. It's not just going to meet your boss to tell your boss you need a promotion, but do you have the skills needed for that role? How do you convince your boss you can do the job? And if you plan it, you will most likely see that you need to cover up some things. Or if you're overdue for the promotion, then you need to work on how best do I communicate to my boss that I am due for a promotion. So you need to set out, there's this goal setting framework. For some people, they might have heard of this, but for others, maybe not. It's called the SMART framework. Make sure that your goal is smart, is specific, is measurable, is attainable, is relevant, and is time bound. So the time bound is within the next 1 year. What do I want to achieve? Maybe I don't want a promotion. Maybe I just want a raise in my salary. So you need to think about what are the mechanisms to get a raise. For some people, based on your performance at the end of the year, they will probably increase your salary by an X amount. For some people, for some companies, they give financial benefits if you complete a particular task. So those are things you need to think about before going into the next year. You need to sit down and then think about these things. How do I set a goal that will get me the required outcome? For some people, it's okay, I just want to build more skills this year, and then next year I go for the promotion. That is also a plan. A plan doesn't mean you must get a new promotion every year, but it might be covering a plan. I need to do X number of courses to prepare myself. I need to have this certification, that certification, so that I can then use it to my advantage when I want a promotion. So those are some of the things you need to do. So you can Google this, the SMART goal setting framework. I think is very effective. So use it to come up with goals for the year and then build on what you want to do. So next steps, these are some questions which I think can help you come up with a very good plan for yourself if you can do that yourself. Things like what career or non-career goals do you need to achieve within the next 1 year? Like I said, it can be a promotion, it can be switching to another job, it might be growing your brand, or even getting awards. Awards play a lot of role later in your career. Last year, I got the Global Talent visa to relocate to the UK. And one of the criteria, one of the things they ask for is, what are your achievements? How can you show your achievements? So for me, who I've always each time I do something significant, I want a form of recognition, either a recommendation from the person or an award or a certificate. So I had a lot of certificates to actually show that I'm adding value to different companies, to my company, to myself personally. So I think it's something you need to think about. What at the end of the day, what do you want to achieve? And just have that in mind. What would you like to earn at this time next year? You need to put that in view. It will help some of your decisions. Some people might want to still earn in Naira. Some people might want to earn in pounds, earn in dollars. I think it's a good time to actually tell yourself what you want and the amount if you can, right? What should that amount be? And it will help you with some of the decisions you make next year. So these are some of the things you need to do. What conversations do you need to have at the beginning of the year? I feel these are some of them. You need to probably talk to your boss if you have a very good organization where they allow for such conversations. You need to have that conversation. Otherwise, you can have it with your friends, or otherwise you can have it with some people like myself. You can have it with some experts who have done these things, or people ahead of you in your career. You can really have that conversation and properly plan out what you want to do next year. So it depends on what you want to do. I think it's always good to have those conversations, probably at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year, so that you have things to look forward to. What skills do you need to, what skills do you require to achieve these goals? Typically, you have your technical skills, whatever technical means to you, leadership skills, and then the business skills. These are three categories I usually just put things under. So for example, in my current role as a digitalization lead, what technical skill do I need? I need to I need to understand more about generative AI, how I'll use that to build more products for my team. From a leadership perspective, How can I help those who are under me grow? How can I help them be the best at what they do? How can I work with other teams, ad hoc teams, both within my organization and outside my organization? How can I work with people to build leadership competencies so that I can do what I need to do? And then the business skills, you need to understand what the current organization you work for, what are they all about? I think a lot of people just work with organizations, they don't even know the vision that organization have or has. So you need to zoom in and understand, what is this organization up to next year? How can I make sure I deliver to their goals for the year? I think it's an important way to help you get a lot of benefits. Because if you can help a business solve what they are really keen on solving, not what you feel they want you to solve, then most times it comes with a lot of recognition and possibly a promotion as well. And if that doesn't still work for you, you can look out for other companies and say, okay, this company is heading the direction I want. For example, people who are big into, say, renewables. For example, people who are big on transactions, the fintech industry. And probably you're working in an industry that's not big on fintech. Maybe it's a time to start thinking, do I want to be here, or do I need to move to such organizations that will help me grow what I have in mind? So those are some points. And importantly, you need to put realistic timelines to them, right? Some people started a job this year and you want a double promotion next year. As wonderful as that sounds, the question is it realistic? If it's realistic within your organization, then you can go for it. But I think it's also good you set very realistic targets for yourself so that you know it's a progression. Okay, maybe this year what I'll do is consolidate all my skills, deliver more projects, make it clear that I have something to offer. Maybe what I'll do is build my brand, and then next year I go for it. Or I've been here for a while, it's time to go for it. You know what best you want, but these are some of the steps you can take next to progress your career.